Hello friends, wishing you all a very happy new year. 1st January is a date which is celebrated by the entire world and it's special for every single person. But it's even more special for Indian cricket fans because it marks the date when Indian women's cricket team legend was born 71 years ago. The legend who went on to create a legacy and be the first of many things for Indian women's cricket team in the longer run. Just to give a glimpse of her achievements, she is the first captain of Indian women's cricket team. She is the first Indian women player to hit a six to score a century, first to captain a winning squad of Indian women's team, first to receive a BCCI Lifetime Achievement Award for a contribution to the cricket, and the first to be a part of Apex Council of BCCI. Her dedication to Indian women's cricket was so high that in 1988 she even reached out to then Prime Minister in order to seek permission for 1988 World Cup. Today, on the day she was born, we bring you the story of legends of Indian cricket and a fine administrator, Shantha Rangaswamy. Her story dates back to 1954 when on 1st January 1954 she was born in Chennai. Since her childhood, she was always a sport lover and eventually she switched to cricket. Post the 1973 Women's World Cup, which was the inaugural one, things started to shape up for Indian women's cricket in Indian domestic circuit, and Shantha Rangaswamy was a very active part of it. She was a part of under 25, under 23, under 19 and 8 teams of other teams which were touring India. And in 1976, she became the first captain of Indian women's cricket team. Out of the 16 test matches which Indian cricket team played between 1976 to 1991, she captained the team for 12 matches. It was under her leadership when India won the very first test match which happened in Patna against the West Indies, which was the very first series of Indian women's cricket team. Apart from the 16 test matches, she represented India for 19 women's ODI internationals. In the 16 test matches she played for India, she has 750 runs with 1 century and 6 half centuries to her name. Apart from that, she has 21 wickets to her name, with her highest being 4 wickets for 42 runs. Although her official statistics mention just 100, she has actually scored couple of hundreds. Her first century came in initial days of 1976 when New Zealand women's team toured India. The match happened in Pune and she scored her first 100. However, the entire series was termed to be unofficial for some reasons. But immediately in the next year, against the same opposition, New Zealand, she scored her first century at Dunedin. Apart from being the first centurion for India, she also became the player to hit the first 6 for any Indian women at the international level. 1970s and 1980s saw difficult time for Indian women's cricket team as hardly they got any support from the masses or even from government or any other authorities, which is why players had to take the initiative themselves. And speak about taking initiatives, definitely it was Shantha Rangaswamy who was always at the forefront. On a lot of occasions when practice balls were not given to the team, it was Shantha Rangaswamy who got the balls after shelling out money from her own pocket. Another instance where her leadership skills and her passion for the game was evident was in 1988, when Indian women's cricket team was not given the NOC to participate in the 1988 Women's World Cup. Any sane person would have no other choice but to accept the decision and just move on with life. But not for Shantha Rangaswamy. Instead of cribbing about the decision, she instead decided to reach to the then Prime Minister, late Honorable Shri Rajiv Gandhi. Her efforts were definitely not in vain as she got a chance to meet the Prime Minister who gave a clearance for the women's team to participate in the 88 World Cup. But unfortunately, that was the same day when the registrations were closing and Indian team did not get a chance. But this instance clearly goes on to show what kind of a fighter Shantha Rangaswamy indeed was. She continued her contribution to the game even after her retirement in 1991. Serving as a fine administrator for the Women's Cricket Association of India, she nurtured and groomed a lot of players including Jhulan Goswami, Mithali Raj and many others who went to serve the nation for a longer period of time. The Arjuna awardee of 1976 continued to serve Indian women's cricket in every possible way. And as a result of her immense contribution to women's cricket in India, she became the first women's player to be the recipient of BCCI Lifetime Achievement Award. She also became the first Indian women's cricketer to be a part of BCCI Apex Council, and it was due to her suggestions that equal pay was brought for women's cricket by the BCCI. Well, as I speak about Shantha Rangaswamy, it still gives me goosebumps for knowing that somebody who shares that kind of passion is born in India and has a significant role in steering the women's cricket from the way it was back in 1976 to the way it is today in 2025. Which is why, being a die-hard fan of Indian cricket, being an ardent supporter of women's cricket, and somebody who is not an Aadha fan, I wholeheartedly thank Shantha Rangaswamy for her immense contribution to the success of Indian women's cricket team. Today, on the day when she was born, I wish her a very happy birthday and I pray to God that she continues to inspire many more people throughout the globe. So this was story of Shantha Rangaswamy. Before ending this video, I have a question for all of you. Apart from Shantha Rangaswamy, do you know any other people who are pioneers of Indian women's cricket? Do let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you guys.